with the government of the Bahamas to support the Bahamian people through initiatives like the National Prescription Drug Plan, which provide access to drugs and medical supplies to groups of Bahamians with chronic diseases. Government-funded unemployment programs that provided support in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian and during the COVID-19 pandemic.
State Minister LaRota told Parliament that the ILO report recommended an immediate, sustained, and systematic increase in the contribution rate to secure the fund in the short term. He said a staggered implementation aims to allow businesses and workers adequate time to adjust their budgets accordingly while still ensuring the system's sustainability for the future. For Your Government in Action, I'm Matt Mora.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the government launches an investigation into alleged hiring practices at the Freeport Container Port. Plus, hear why concerned citizens gathered at the Harold de Gregory building to protest. And the Grand Bahama Port Authority officials addressing the malfunctioning traffic lights. The Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, the government has launched an investigation into the alleged hiring practices at the Freeport Container Port. This is in response to growing concerns over potential favoritism toward expatriate workers. Social media rumors have been circulating suggesting that qualified Bahamians are being overlooked for certain positions in favor of expatriate candidates. Once again, a practice that the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, has publicly criticized. Well, tonight, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, shares his perspective on this pressing matter. Here's Simone Davis with tonight's top story.
Following unverified reports circulating on social media regarding the potential recruitment of expatriate workers for key positions at the Freeport Container Port, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, Minister of Foreign Affairs, has announced that the government is currently investigating the matter, while acknowledging that the Davis administration does not support an influx of foreign workers in the country.
This has been a vexing problem with that container port for some time. Particularly as some people have made the allegation that there's some nepotism involved in some of the choices for jobs. And this is not to the benefit of Bahamians. As chairman of the party, I brought this to the attention of the immigration minister several times, including most recently. But as a result of the most recent post, I spoke to the Prime Minister yesterday, wishes to reassure the public of what the government and the party's position is on this matter.
This development comes on the heels of a recent incident back in January when 20 employees of the Freeport Container Port received termination letters due to a sudden decision by management to lay them off. However, within 24 hours of intervention from the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, that decision was reversed and those employees were reinstated. Prime Minister Davis had previously outlined his administration's plans to address the issue of foreign workers being granted work permits for jobs that could be performed by eligible Bahamians.
Jobs for any enterprise in the Bahamas are for Bahamians first. And that's the public message which he'd like to get across. And I have no doubt that the Department of Immigration will be acting in accordance with those policies. So we just wanted to make clear that the complaints have been brought to our attention and that the policy is restated and that we expect in the course of time that the policies will either be adjusted or the Department of Immigration will have to deal with them.
And in response to questions about the government's commitment to tackling this issue, Minister Mitchell provided a candid response, assuring the public that the government's concerns are genuine.
Given the political atmosphere, I would expect it isn't talk at all. That's why, as chairman of the party, I want to get this message out there, particularly as we're looking at Freeport under the microscope now in its economic development. And it became a Bahamian city in 1969 as a result of policies of the party. And from the party's point of view, we have to continue those policies, and we'll be continuing to support those policies, both privately and publicly.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Now, officials from the Freeport Container Port could not be reached for a comment on the matter. This is a story we will continue to follow. Meanwhile, heavy police presence was visible at the Harold de Gregory building today as a group of concerned citizens holding placards led a peaceful demonstration this morning, arguing for the fair treatment of Bahamians and those awaiting to be granted Bahamian citizenship. Our Simone Davis was on the scene and has the details in this report.
Beside quiet waters, that's what we got.
During a peaceful demonstration on the grounds of the Harold de Gregory complex this morning, members of the Coalition of Independents were up in arms with Minister of Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, after he swore in 3 people as citizens at a funeral last month.
For far too long, Bahamians has been treated like second-class citizens in their country, and citizenship has been given out to illegal immigrants who are coming here on a boat legally, giving out citizenship, and it's wrong what they are doing, and we are calling for immediate resignation or termination of Keith Bell.
However, during the OPM's weekly press briefing last week, Deputy Press Secretary Keishla Adderley said the minister did not break any rules or laws during the process and that he did follow proper protocols before he conducted the swearing-in. One protester, Bishop Carlton Taylor, highlighting what he describes as the unfair treatment that some Haitian migrants living on Grand Bahama have faced while waiting years to be naturalized in the Bahamas.
I grew up here in Grand Bahama. I have friends here that are of Haitian descent who had applied for citizenship. They don't have children. Their children don't have children, and my God, they ain't straight yet.
Another resident declaring that the group believes that any government selected by the people should be loyal to its citizens and not foreigners.
We gathered here today not based on politics, but on the understanding that if we don't declare wrong and we don't make the government accountable to us, we would continue to see this type of action portraying within our leadership role in governance. And so I believe, like I said, it's all of our duty when we see the error to stand up, because that's the only way we would get governments to understand that we're knowledgeable about our laws, we're knowledgeable about our rights, and we feel as though their obligation should be to the people of the Bahamas and not foreigners.
Change ain't coming! Change is here! Change ain't coming! Change is here! Change ain't coming! Change is here!
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
Well, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Public Service, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, responding to those protesters and other residents who are calling for the immigration minister's resignation, explaining that Bell did not break any laws and there is no reason he should resign or be dismissed.
The immigration minister has broken no law, acted within his discretion, which he has the authority to do. Some people may disagree with the exercise of that discretion, but the point is there was no breaking of the law. The Prime Minister's spokesman has already said that the Prime Minister has spoken to the minister. He knows the concerns of the public, doesn't expect it to be repeated, but no law is broken, and therefore it does not rise to of asking for a resignation. So all I say to people is think of this cautiously before you go running after these people on this platform where all of them who are calling for resignation had to resign because they themselves were caught in some ethical faux pas. And that's the case I make.
Well, in other news, a Grand Bahama Port Authority official bringing clarity to motorists regarding the issue of malfunctioning traffic lights on the island, noting that this issue will be rectified in the coming weeks. Raven Davis has that report.
It is an issue that has persisted for several weeks. Malfunctioning traffic lights at 3 major junctions on the island. That issue, according to Deputy Director and City Manager for the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Troy McIntosh, is due to equipment failure, or in some instances, the need for equipment replacement.
So what we would have done back in February of this year, when Fish and Oil Light went down, is to order the brain of the system. Basically, we call them the controllers. And so we would have ordered 6 controllers because we are aware that 6 needs to be replaced. And so because of our global shipping challenges, the manufacturer advised us that it's going to take until August 31st for those equipment to be on island. But we're working on alternative means in very short order to have those lights up.
Grand Bahama Highway and the Fishing Hole Road, Eastway and East Sunrise Highway, along with Piners Way and Coral Road, have been affected as the LCD screen in some of the controllers have failed. McIntosh adds, however, that trained technicians will be on hand to rectify this problem.
So we will have some techs on island to assist our current tech, along with providing some training to the local staff for ongoing maintenance, and we're hoping within the next 2 weeks, max 2.5 weeks, that they will be on island.
And pressed about what can be done to prevent future recurrences, he says the most simple solution is to eventually remove all the lights.
That's my goal, whether it become a reality or not, to turn them into roundabouts. And why you say roundabouts? Roundabouts are safer. Whenever there's a collision, it's usually a single accident at low impact. When you look at what is required for traffic lights, it means your housing materials. You have to secure materials for replacement parts. And so looking at all of those, whatever the long-term or short-term solution is eventually for our intersections, we believe in a very short order we'll make that decision for the safety of the public, but also for the easy transition of motorists on our roads.
Now, McIntosh assures that before the end of July, all 3 malfunctioning traffic lights will be working. In the meantime, motorists are encouraged to continue using the 4-way traffic stop at these junctions. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Heading now into news from police. Police on Grand Bahama are investigating the circumstances surrounding an alleged sexual assault of a 19-year-old female resident of Honduras Drive, Freeport. Preliminary reports indicate that the victim was attending a pool party at a residence on Seaview Lane when the incident occurred. Subsequently, a 20-year-old male of Hepburn Town, 8 Mile Rock, is presently assisting police with their investigations into this matter. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital today, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe, admits that there has been an uptick in sexual assault cases, while adding what needs to be done to address this issue.
The uptick that we saw in the statistics is in New Providence concerningly and rape. It's down everywhere else. The approach to that is this: rape is a crime that isn't really a sexual offense. It's an offense of violence. It's an offense that's carried out by people who clearly aren't properly socialized. And so one of the main ways of preventing it is education. And we are looking now at a policy to address the education, particularly of young men. But the Sexual Offenses Unit, led by Inspector Wims, is also engaging with young women. And we expect to have a substantial gathering of persons to align efforts to address educating and mentoring young men. In the meantime, we have to make it as comfortable as possible for the victims of sexual offenses to report them.
The Grand Bahama Christian Council talking independence tonight. That story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
happy days are here again on June 30th and July 1st as Dolly Madison Home Center says bye-bye to VAT on all duty-paid purchases. Yes, shop till you drop. June 30th and July 1st and Dolly pays the VAT. Spend $50 or more and become eligible to win a microwave. And Dolly's Road to 50 promotion, where the 50th customer wins a $50 Dolly gift card. June 30th and July 1st only.
I am proud to be a Bahamian working here at the container port. Happy Independence, Bahamas.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating the Road to 50 with a 20% off all tiles in stock. That's right, 20% off all ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tiles. And they're giving the first 50 customers an additional $50 off their total purchase. Yes, an additional $50 off your total purchase. So come on in from Thursday, July 6th to Saturday, July 8th and save big with their Independence sale. Call them at 352-7920.
Don't go through storm season without the Freeport Report app. Visit the Google Play or Apple Store and download for free. Get updates directly to your phone, see approved storm shelters near you, and report any issues that may occur. GBPA and Lusco are here for you.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority invites all residents of the island to join them and celebrate the country's 50th anniversary of independence at a free GBPA block party. Join us on Saturday, July 8th at 7 p.m. for a live show with lots of music, dancing, food, and loads of fun. The grand stage will be erected in the middle of downtown Pioneers Way and the Mall Drive. We want to see you there.
We're celebrating our nation's 50th in grand style with a big independence celebration on Independence Park on Sunday, July 9th. The Grand Bahama 50th Independence Committee invites all residents from east to west to the big show. A spectacular evening of food, music, dance, theatrical performances, and fireworks. A grand culture extravaganza celebrating our Golden Jubilee. Performances by Ave, and if you are to be that Bahama mama, Melody, take my own to the Billy Club, and Ellen Wilford Sullivan. Food is a very serious thing. Backed by the top tier band, in addition to the Royal Bahamas Police Force Tattoo and Junkanoo Rush Hour. Gates open at 6 p.m. Showtime begins at 7 p.m. on Independence Park on Sunday, July 9th. We're celebrating our nation's 50th in grand style. We're marching forward, upward, and onward together.
To be Bahamian is to be blessed with opportunity. To be Bahamian is to be resilient. To be a role model. It feels amazing to be a part of history. And again, I am ever so grateful, and I'm excited to see what 50 more years bring. Happy 50th Independence, Bahamas.
Dangerous Hurricane Dorian will be etched in the minds of Bahamians for a lifetime.
Independence to me represents the strength, the boldness, the resilience, and the heart and soul of our Bahamian people. We fought for 50 long years to be where we are today and create this extraordinary little nation that never stops, no matter what comes our way. And for that, I am proud to be a Bahamian. Happy Independence, Bahamas.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. As the nation eagerly prepares to commemorate 50 years as an independent country, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council is emphasizing his view on the current state of the Bahamas. He asserts that the church has played a significant role in the journey and must continue to be an integral part of the nation's development moving forward.
The church must be involved in all aspects of our society, in the making of laws, in the establishment of a national plan for the country, how we deal with our young people in education in all aspects of society.
With the country approaching 50 years of independence, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Reverend Kenneth Lewis, stresses the importance of holding fast to Christian values in preserving the nation's identity.
If we lose sight of that, we simply become a nation. We are not really Bahamians, because enshrined in our preamble, we declare to the entire world that we are a Christian nation.
Reverend Lewis acknowledges the Bahamas' remarkable achievements on the global stage, from sporting triumphs to significant contributions in various fields. However, he expresses that the Bahamas is losing grip on the values upon which it was established, and there is a need to rekindle love and unity among one another.
Our young people seem to be willing to resolve their issues with violence. And when we were growing up 50 years ago, that was unheard of. We struggled with social ills like teenage pregnancy, child abuse, and spousal abuse. These are things that the Bahamas was unknown for. In fact, Bahamians were known to establish neighborhoods where the children played in the streets, they knew each other, they ate in each other's homes.
And as we move forward, upward, onward, together, he believes that it is incumbent upon the church to prepare the next generation of leaders.
We can become producers and creators other than consumers. The role the church must play is to teach our young people that they can become entrepreneurs, that they can own hotels, that they can own major businesses. Sure, the government has a role to play, but it starts in the heart and it starts in the mind. It starts making our young people believe that they can do it.
Your Tuesday Check on Sports is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. When it was championship day in flag football action, Sheen Stubbs was there.
The Grand Bahama Flag Football Championships came to a head this past Sunday at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. First on the field were the Lady Elites taking on the Out to Sea Tritons. Here's how that went.
The elements played a big factor in this one, as both ladies had to resort to their run game, struggling to score. The teams would need overtime to decide a winner. It came down to Triton's QB Gwen Elliott receiving the snap and handing it off to Fallon Beckford, who took it all the way to the house, giving the Tritons the 1-0 victory and the 2023 Ladies Championship. Here's MVP Beckford and QB Gwen Elliott.
That's all I need, trust, and they just had the block for me, and I find the whole last about it. And I'm happy we had the team, the coaches, and the league to deliver it.
For coaches Dawn Aubrey and Lawrence Woods, they had no issue resorting to the run game and now look forward to nationals.
All season we've been leaning on our run game, been leaning on our defense, and we come in the game with the same thought. The girls say, Dawn, we started the season with the run, let's end the run.
We can give them a chance to enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment, run the road, Blue run the road right now. We can relax tomorrow and be back to work maybe Wednesday.
Next on the field, emotions rode high during the men's title game between Three Links and the Sky's the Limit Rock Boys. The Rock Boys came out firing on all cylinders, putting up 19 first-half points. The defending champion Three Links did all they could to respond, but would ultimately fall 19-12 as the Rock Boys would snag their third Grand Bahama Flag football title. Here's Coach Ross Burrows and Trex Russell.
It feels great, you know. We prepared, we work hard, we put in the work, and we adjust what they was doing and what they was doing against us, and we came up with a W.
I feel we had to fight. I think the actual preparation did the team well.
And now the team has a shot to secure their second national title. Trex, what's it going to take?
Just practice, execute. Practice, execute, let's be ready to roll. Right, we can celebrate this one. Later this week, we back at it, ready to work again.
The national championships are expected to take place in Freeport July 22nd at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Shane Stubbs.
And finally in sports, the 6th edition of the Bahamas Games is just 3 days away. The games will begin Friday, July 7th through the 15th. The Grand Bahama Lucayans, the Bimini Marlins, and the Abaco Survivors will be 3 of 10 teams competing at this year's games. And that's a quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
invited to the Independence Park for a cultural extravaganza Sunday, July 9th as we celebrate our Golden Jubilee in grand style. Enjoy food, theatrical performances, and music by Avi Stalid, Melody, Wilfred Solomon, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Marching Band, appearances by the Grand Bahama All-Star Junkanoo Group. Gates open at 6 p.m. Showtime is at 7 p.m.
I'm proud to be a Bahamian. Happy 50th Independence, Bahamas.
Come one, come all to a free breakfast giveaway. All happening Saturday, July 8th, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. St. Vincent de Paul Church Grounds in Hunters. Free hot breakfast while supplies last. It's all about giving back to the community, so don't miss the free breakfast brought to you by ATIS Company Limited. See you there.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating the road to 50 with a 20% off all tiles in stock. That's right, 20% off all ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tiles. And they're giving the first 50 customers an additional $50 off their total purchase. Yes, an additional $50 off your total purchase. So come on in from Thursday, July 6th to Saturday, July 8th and save big with their Independence Sale. Call them at 352-7920.
I envision a multitude of metropolitan straw vendors, of taxi drivers, operators, of tour owners, of all things Bahamian. I envision our culture being defined and being something that we are very proud about. That's what I envision for the Freeport Harbor. I also envision the industrial sector growing to great strength, the container port expanding, new crane operators, utilizing technology, and just us as a country and persons that are Bahamian, to know that we are here in the world and to take our place, to make it as special as it is.
Going down Bremen Road, going down Bremen Road, going down Bremen Road, I can't lick nobody.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority invites all residents of the island to join them and celebrate the country's 50th anniversary of independence at a free GBPA block party. Join us on Saturday, July 8 at 7 p.m. for a live show with lots of music, dancing, food, and loads of fun. The grand stage will be erected in the middle of downtown Pioneers Way and the Mall Drive. We want to see you there.
We're celebrating our nation's 50th in grand style with a big Independence celebration on Independence Park on Sunday, July 9th. The Grand Bahama 50th Independence Committee invites all residents from east to west to the big show. A spectacular evening of food, music, dance, theatrical performances, and fireworks. A grand culture extravaganza celebrating our Golden Jubilee. Performances by Avi, Stalid, and if you are to be that Bahama mama, Melody, take my own to the finish line, and Wilfred Solomon. Food is a very serious thing. Backed by the top tier band, in addition to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Tattoo, and Junkanoo Russia. Gates open at 6 p.m. Showtime begins at 7 p.m. on Independence Park on Sunday, July 9th. We're celebrating our nation's 50th in grand style. We're marching forward, upward, and onward together.
The Bahamas is a Christian nation, so you gotta lead with love. And once we lead with love, it's only way is up for us. And the generation that's coming now, that's our future. So once we continue to invest in them, we only can succeed. Happy 50th Independence, Bahamas.
Grand Bahama Tiles is celebrating the road to 50 with a 20% off all tiles in stock. That's right, 20% off all ceramic, porcelain, and natural stone tiles. And they're giving the first 50 customers an additional $50 off their total purchase. Yes, an additional $50 off your total purchase. So come on in from Thursday, July 6th to Saturday, July 8th and save big with their Independence Sale. Call them at 352-7920.
grand rally is expected to kick off.
To me, independence is synonymous with liberation. It signals the evolution of the country and reminds us to remain united if we wish to see further progression. I'm Raven Davis of the ZNS Northern Service, wishing you a happy Independence, Bahamas.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Well, tonight, as we count down to our 50th anniversary of independence, we have another young, talented entertainer joining us live. We've seen him on cultural stages, regardless, performing all throughout the country. Joining us live tonight is none other than Sherrod Taylor. Sherrod, tell us, man, how long have you been singing?
I've been singing basically all my life. From the age of 3, I got my first start in church at the age of 3, and I've been singing ever since.
And the song that you're about to perform tonight?
It's called Junkanoo Party. So it's just a song about, it was written during COVID time, so it's a song I love Junkanoo, so I was waiting on Junkanoo to just be back, and so I wrote this song, so yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sherrod Taylor performing his hit single, Junkanoo Party. Take it away.
Junkanoo party, when the Junkanoo coming down the road, and the whole crowd just lose control. Sweet beats from the goat skin drum, and that rhythm from the tum-tum. Feel the rhythm in the soul, and I start to lose control. When the beat takes over me, need a gal to whine on me. Feel the rhythm in the soul, and I start to lose control. When the beat takes over me, need a gal to whine on me. It's the Junkanoo party, where the music is so sweet. When we dance in your car bodies, it's the Junkanoo party. We rushing and we can't stop. We dance until the sun up. We partying non-stop at the Junkanoo party. When the Junkanoo coming down the road, and you see those beautiful costumes, you know it's gonna be a party for sure. We can't nobody repping for the culture. Hear the clinking of the cowbell, beating of the drum, the rhythm of that music. Man, I have been fun. Hear the clinking of the cowbell, beating of the drum, the rhythm of that music. Man, I have been fun. Oh, it's a Junkanoo party. So sweet, we're dancing your car parties. It's a Junkanoo party. Rushing and we can't stop. We dancing till the sun up. We partying non-stop at the Junkanoo party. Feel the rhythm in the soul. Now I start to lose control. When the beat take over me, need a gal to whine on me. Hear the clicking of the cowbell, beating up the drum, the rhythm of that music. Man, I have been fun. Hear the clicking of the cowbell.
Junkanoo Party, none other than Sherrod Taylor performing. I think this is your first time you're performing live on the on Northern Station, so thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Sherrod Taylor joining us live tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, Haiti's dire crisis appeal. The economy's moderate growth, pressure mounts from minister's removal, and in sports, Bahamas Games update. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Makush Lopender, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Haiti's long-standing political, security, and humanitarian crisis still very much a critical issue for Caricom. The regional body has, however, secured the support of a United Nations official. Cleopatra Murphy shares the details of that assistance and what the Prime Minister shared with colleagues as he handed over chairmanship of the 50-year-old bloc.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres issued the appeal for more regional and international support for Haiti, where he says the security situation is appalling and the humanitarian crisis is soaring amidst ongoing political unrest. He issued that appeal during the opening of the 45th Caricom Regional Heads of Government meeting in Trinidad, where he pledged his support.
And I will continue to push for a robust international security force authorized by the Security Council to be able to help the Haitian National Police to defeat and dismantle the gangs. And I reiterate my call to all partners to increase support for the National Police in the form of financing, training, and equipment. Let's be clear. There can be no lasting security without strengthened democratic institutions, and there can be no strong democratic institutions without a drastic improvement in the security situation.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, who was joined by a Bahamian delegation, handed the reins of Caricom to the new chair, Prime Minister of Dominica, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit. The Prime Minister, who stressed the need for regional cooperation for continued growth, also reaffirmed the Bahamas' commitment to working with other Caricom countries to address the crisis in Haiti.
Along with the moral imperative to support our neighbors in finding a way out of the political morass, which is causing so much suffering, it is a prime illustration of the point, which I have made for some time now, that none of us can be safe until we are all safe. In Haiti, beyond the pressing issue of security, there's the long-term issue of restoring the country to that fully functional democratic state.
The opening of the 45th Caricom Heads of Government meeting, held on the eve of the signing of the 1973 Treaty of Chaguaramas, was significant as Caricom now celebrates 50 years, returning to Trinidad, where Caricom was established. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley, also touted Caricom countries are stronger as a collective.
Even where there was doubt in the beginning, the experience must have shown us that we are stronger together. And even though we are an amalgam of small pieces of the globe, on the world stage, we might be small, but we are not insignificant. As Caricom, we are at our strongest. We could be at our best. Let's claim our space in this world.
Caricom's new chair, the Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, stuck to that theme, also renewing his commitment for the collective's original vision, noting that 50 years after Caricom began, it is time to reflect on where it wants to be 50 years from now.
The issue of free movement, non-tariff barriers to trade, reliable and affordable transportation are all fundamental to a truly integrated Caricom. We must address our minds and collective will to resolve some key issues. We have the opportunity on this historic occasion, and as we deliberate over the next few days, to take some decisions that can be truly transformative for our people.
The 45th Caricom Heads of Government meeting comes to a close on Wednesday evening. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now back here in the capital, the government making major inroads in its redevelopment plans for downtown Nassau. Much of the changes have to do with significantly improving the overall aesthetics of that tourist hub. Carla Palmer reports.
With millions of dollars being injected into the country's tourism products annually, and likewise recouped in visitor arrivals and related trade industries, the government has a lot on the line as it seeks to sustain and grow our #1 industry. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, knows that significant changes to the eastern portion of Bay Street must be upgraded, and is something done with those abandoned buildings that line both sides of the street.
We've given notice to the owners of the structures. There is dialogue between the government, Ministry of Works in particular, and the owners. There are varying responses. Some of them are interested in repairing. Some of them are supportive of demolitions. There are some support for redevelopment of some of the structures.
Not only are discussions being advanced, but the building's owners reportedly welcome the government's intentions.
Suffice to say, we're getting cooperation from the stakeholders. And when we get to a stage where there's a specific action to be taken, that is what we will do. It is not the government's view to be a bulldozer in this process, literally or figuratively. So we want to engage with the stakeholders properly. We want to listen to their positions. We want to work with them to ensure that this is done harmoniously.
Engaging the Ministry of Works to correct the long-standing problem of flooding on Bay Street, among other changes, are also under consideration.
We are looking at some streets downtown to be made pedestrian in the short term. Market Slope, that is a road between Prince George Wharf and Bay Street, right beside the straw market. We've identified that as a first opportunity. There'll be additional vendor opportunities. It will be fully pedestrianized. I believe all stakeholders are on board with that so far.
Acting Prime Minister Cooper maintains that the government will remain focused and systematic in its endeavor to further uplift the ambience of downtown as it seeks to continue improving the tourism product. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, 4 days into the 2023-2024, a new fiscal year, and the central bank's got some good economic news. In its May economic and financial developments, the domestic economy maintains its growth trajectory, although at a moderate pace. Saltavis Munnings takes a closer look.
Increased travel demand in key source markets in air and sea traffic contributed to the healthy growth in our tourism sector during the month of May. According to Ministry of Tourism data, total visitor arrivals rose to 0.8 million in May from 0.5 million visitors in May 2022. Sea passenger traffic grew to 0.6 million, while air traffic stabilized at 0.1 million, representing 94.2% of the pre-pandemic high that was recorded in 2019. Foreign arrivals to the Family Islands amounted to 0.4 million, extending the 0.3 million visitors recorded a year earlier. On a year-to-year basis, those figures contribute to the 4.2 million rebound in total visitors, vis-a-vis 2.5 million in the comparative period of 2022. Air arrivals increased to 0.8 million passengers from 0.6 million in the previous year, bolstered by growth across all major source markets. Sea arrivals accelerated to 3.4 million from 1.8 million visitors the year before. Now, when it comes to money, the deficit narrowed to $216.2 million for the first 9 months of the 2022-2023 budget year, from $336.2 million in the prior budget year. That's thanks to revenue growth from goods and services, value added, property, gaming, business licenses, and motor vehicle taxes. The expansion in expenditure was credited to a $113.2 million, or 5.6% growth in recurrent spending, to total over $2.1 million. While employee compensation, use of goods and services, and miscellaneous payments went up, subsidies and social benefit payments decreased. External reserves expanded from $168.7 million to over $2.8 million, and that's a reversal from last year's $62.9 million contraction that was bolstered by proceeds from government's external borrowing. Credit to public corporations slowed significantly to just $0.6 million. Private sector, commercial, and consumer credit numbers also increased during the month of May. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Saltavis Munnings.
Well, for the most part, a peaceful demonstration at the entrance of the Cecil Wallace Whitfield office, Cable Beach, as participants call on the powers that be to have a senior cabinet minister removed. Carla Palmer has more in the story.
Whether they had anticipated it or not, the demonstrators were greeted by barricades and high-ranking uniformed police officers who stopped them in their tracks from getting anywhere close to the office of the Prime Minister's building. By the dozens, those demonstrating showed up in solidarity with one objective in mind.
We are here today because we want Keith Bell to be terminated.
Although organized by the Coalition of Independents, its leader and spokesman, Lincoln Bain, touted the event, a bipartisan effort on behalf of the Bahamian people.
We believe that what the Minister of Immigration did was illegal, that it was wrong, it was unlawful, it was ultra-virus, and any words that you want to put on it. And we're here to stand up. He has already doubled down and said that he's not resigning. He must be terminated, and it is the job of a leader to take tough decisions. And we're calling on Philip Brave Davis to take the tough decision and terminate him.
With a view that the Bahamas should be for Bahamians first, Bain is adamant that he is not xenophobic.
We're not against any race of people. All we are saying is come the right way. We know that only Bahamians can't be in this country. We need your help building our country. We need you to do some jobs that we're unable to do. But we want you to come the right way. We have a nation within a nation, and this is what we have to stop. We just want order in our country.
When asked about the ongoing calls for Minister Bell's resignation, Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, responded this way.
Minister Bell has the support of Prime Minister Davis.
Bain and his team had hoped to submit their letter recommending the Minister of Labor's resignation into the Prime Minister's office, but was refused entry to the grounds. While Assistant Police Commissioner for Public Safety and Community Policing Services, Craig Stubbs, as well as several other officers offered to hand in the letter, Bain refused to hand it over. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Now, in other news this evening, heavy-hearted loved ones of Monday's homicide victim demanding justice in the face of unbelievable grief, torture, and tears. And this as police today confirm that the alleged culprits are by no means strangers to crime.
For my brother, if this grave, God the show, he can show and he can reveal, because he no way. They do Gary like that. Everyone, everywhere love this man. Everyone.
The pangs of pain, the anguish of a family broken by tragedy. One who made the emotional trek to the Princess Margaret Hospital's morgue Tuesday morning to officially identify slain loved one, Gareth Pyfram, whose unresponsive body was found through a rugged and bushy area on Marshall Road Monday morning. The gruesome discovery just 200 feet from where two off-duty police officers attending a pool party late Sunday heard gunshots. Inquiries led to the officers being shot by two men. They're in stable condition. For Gareth, though, the end fatal.
The immediate reaction was tears. It was tears because I know Gareth. I mean, you know, I know the type of young man he is. And to understand the nature in how he died, being murdered, and all of these other details, I just began to cry.
Reflecting on his church member was Pyfram's pastor of 8 years, Apostle Thomas Maxwell, who says he last saw the Pyframs during a gender reveal about 2 weeks ago.
He's humble. He's a very nice young man, very, very respectable, and he is loved by his entire family. But I see Gareth as the type of person who was the leader of his entire family. You know, they loved him, and everybody looked up to him. He was living his life trying to take care of his family. Gareth was not a troublemaker at all. You know, I just want to make sure I put that in there.
Police say their investigations have so far revealed that both suspects are known to police, with one being on bail for not one, but two murders.
That if anybody knows anything, please don't hesitate to give the information that you have. We want justice for Gareth Pyfram. Nobody is deserving of being murdered.
A National Security Minister, the Honourable Wayne Munro, clarifying reports that police missed the body of Gareth Pyfram at the Marshall Road crime scene Sunday night. Police confirming to the media on the scene Monday that Pyfram's lifeless body would have been in the area for about 3 to 4 hours. Detectives sharing that the incident happened at a pool party, as indicated, on Sunday attended by some 200 to 300 people and that there was no lighting in the area, which may explain why no one noticed the victim earlier. Authorities also couldn't confirm whether the deceased was involved in the shooting incident, which the officers reportedly responded to, or if he too is known to the police.
In the morning, a body was discovered, no spans anywhere near it. Without knowing exactly where it is placed, and one cannot know what the circumstances are. West Bay Street is in the same area of where we're standing now. St. Albans Drive is in the same area that we're standing now. A final briefing I will receive will talk about distances.
Police also reporting details of an overnight shooting in Pinewood Gardens that's left 2 wounded. We understand the victims, a 19-year-old and a 27-year-old, were standing outside a home on Croton Street when 3 men in a dark-colored Nissan Cube stopped. The alleged perpetrators, masked and in dark clothing, opened fire in the direction of the 2 men. The wounded men are in stable condition, according to police. Again, police are appealing to the public to come forward with any information that can assist in solving this crime. Clifford Park prep continues ahead of Independence celebrations. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
The news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Tells us who we are, but it also tells us how far we've come. When we look back on our Bahamian history, what do we see? A nation of beauty, rich culture, pride that moves forward, upward, onward, and together. For the past 50 years, this small nation has evolved into something great, and Commonwealth Bank has been there every step of the way. From us to you. Happy 50th Independence, Bahamas.
From the experts that created the Kentucky Chicken Sandwich comes the Crispy Barbecue Sandwich. Bacon, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your bearing? Pledge to excel through love and unity. Pressing onward, march together to a common, loftier goal. Steady sunward, though the weather eyed the wide and treacherous shoal. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahamaland, till the road you've trod lead unto your God. March on, Bahamaland.
Plans in motion to spruce up the historic Clifford Park, the site where things forever shifted for the Bahamas in 1973. Our Lloyd Allen is on location with an update on preparations that have continued around the clock despite recent downpours.
Well, good afternoon, Makusha, and good afternoon, Bahamas. Right now, we're at Clifford Park, where preparations are ongoing ahead of the Independence celebrations. We're speaking now with Keandra Gardner. She is the Vice President of Business Operations at Zaymar Productions. And of course, you've done this for several years, but tell us about some of those areas that you're looking at this year and some of those aspects remaining to be completed.
Sure. So this year, we're really focused on making sure that we live up to the occasion being the 50th. And so we brought out our largest stage that we have here on the island, and so we'll be doing your staging, your sound, your lighting, your video production throughout the 50th Independence this coming week. So in terms of what we're still working on right now, just getting the final touches on the stage design, as well as a lot of our video work in terms of some of the memoirs and the announcements that are coming from the Family Island. So we're just working on getting everything ready.
Now, I know that lighting and audio are also important components this year as well. How far are you with that?
Oh, we're pretty much designed. Our team right behind us is actually getting ready to put in a lot of our audio and our lighting for the event. So we're steamrolling ahead and just ready for July 9th.
Has the weather affected your operations?
Oh, most definitely. The weather has definitely delayed our preparations for the event, but as troopers that we are, we're making it happen regardless of what the weather swings at us.
And of course, the big question, will you be ready for the big night?
Oh, we're going to be ready ahead of the big night. So we're excited. July 9th, I want to invite everyone to come out and see what we have planned for this year's 50th Independence.
Well, of course, that's Zaymar, and I spoke with another company here as well who's in charge of paving works as well as landscaping. They say they're about 70 to 90% complete. Of course, they anticipate by Thursday most of their works will be completed, and that's ahead of the July 9th celebrations right here at Clifford Park. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla, back to you in studio.
Well, Lloyd, you're certainly getting us excited back here in the studio. Now, the annual Independence Beat Retreat, always a crowd pleaser, but this year attendees witnessed a performance worthy of the milestone the country marks.
50 years is truly worth celebrating, and the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces made Sunday's Independence Beat Retreat entertainingly special. However, as never before, the singing prophet Bishop Lawrence Rowe performed in a police uniform. He is now a reservist. Not to be outdone, the Defense Force performed 5 segments, including ring play.
Naughty Johnny!
And Junkanoo.
If I pick up something and if I grab someone and why?
Spoken competition between the police force and the defense force. They seemingly appeared at their best when combined. And that might have been the goal of the founding fathers. One Bahamas. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Aubrey.
Well, thanks, Vaughn. The country's parliamentary representatives will certainly look sharp this independence thanks to custom-tailored aquamarine blazers, courtesy of Nolan Carey of Kingsman Collections. The Bahamian entrepreneur gifted the one-of-a-kind commemorative blazer to the National Independence Secretariat as symbols of unity, patriotism, and achievement. National Independence Secretariat Chair, Her Excellency Leslie Miller Bryce, and Permanent Secretary Jack Thompson thanked Kingsman Collections for finding unique ways to showcase their products and services during the country's Golden Jubilee. While still on Independence, housing for Bahamian athletes finalized as hundreds head to the capital for the Bahamas Games. Marcellus Hall has that story.
One of the biggest concerns when hosting a major sporting event is housing for the participants. With the 6th edition of the Bahamas Games scheduled to begin on July 7th, making sure the athletes and coaches have a roof over their heads and meals high on the list of priorities. Enter Super Clubs Breezes to the rescue. The all-inclusive resort and spa located in Western New Providence has come forward to be the official games village for the event. With more than 1,200 athletes expected to take part, Breezes spokeswoman Heather Smith talked about making sure everything is in place.
We've got a number of our different departments doing their part to ensure that everything is in place. We have our chef who's buying the food. We have our reservations department who's actually inputting names as we speak. We have our housekeeping department who is making sure that the rooms are going to be prepared for them when they come in. And so we're on the ball working.
Breeze is no stranger to hosting major events, especially on the athletic end, as Smith was quick to point out. They've been here before.
Breezes is the unofficial sports hotel in the Bahamas. We've housed many sporting events, and we are very happy to be a part of the Bahama Games and to be playing such a big role for the Bahama Games. So we feel good about the entire experience.
Work around the resort in preparation for the games already well underway and in most cases completed. From the hanging of banners, laying out the dining areas and rooms the athletes will utilize, and much more. The property is laying out the red carpet, Smith saying that despite the high stakes, they are feeling no pressure.
Oh, no pressure at all. Like I say, we do this all the time. We can do this in our sleep. We've had a number of different buyouts where we've had athletes in the hotel in these numbers, 1,200 athletes. So it's a breeze, no pressure.
All in all, Smith says that the return of the games is an important aspect in building patriotism and allowing the athletes to showcase their abilities, especially on the country's 50th anniversary.
Very happy that we are doing it. I think it's good for the country, it's good for the athletes, and I think it'll be time for them to shine and to show their talents.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Marcellus Hall.
This portion of the news is being brought to you by the 50th Independence Secretariat. Go to their website, celebrate-bahamas.com, or their Facebook page, Celebrate Bahamas, to see the schedule of exciting events.
Before independence, this was our genesis. Like a sun splitting through darkness to let future in. Great-grandfathers with iron fists, wielding policies that paved possibilities for the next of kin. 07 was a shedding of skin. Now native, but never wavered on our commitment. Before our country turned 50, we were here 50 years more. Helping life, spreading light. BAF for life.
Today, our coral reefs are in dire straits. They are dying at an alarming rate.
These ecosystems are under lots of threats.
There's multiple strategies for saving coral reefs, and one of the strategies is in restoration.
So we can start to revitalize the reef systems and protect the marine life in the Bahamas.
It's all about increasing environmental awareness. Atlantis believes healthy reefs support a healthy Bahamas.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Bahamas, FYP, and the Pink Center want to wish you a very happy 50th Independence. To celebrate, we've teamed up with Val's Bar to offer you 50% off on select paints until July 15th. So whatever your project, whatever your inspiration, the Paint Center at FYP can help get it done. Stop by today to pick your color and save 50% off on paint. 69 Wolf Road in Nassau. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Red, white, and blue, the colors of the American flag waving high as millions celebrate that country's 247th birthday. Here at home, several cruise ship passengers and visitors we spoke to in downtown Nassau shared why they chose to spend the 4th year in the Bahamas.
The tradition, I think this is our 7th.
Well, just touring around, and this our anniversary, our 50th anniversary, wedding anniversary. So that's how we're celebrating it. With my sister and her husband.
We've heard it's a wonderful place to celebrate the 4th of July. So we decided to try it out.
We're celebrating the 4th with our family reunion, with the Matt Mickey family. Oh my God, we love it. Every year, they always come around down here to the islands for the family reunion.
Well, meantime, Urban Renewal participants getting a special treat this summer from the New Jersey-based iDance group. The American dancers partnered with the World Dance Council to launch Project Broken Here. It's a program designed to enhance the lives of young people through the arts. Officials say the children thoroughly enjoyed the event.
They're very polite, and I'm so proud that we get a chance to give what we do and just help them in Project Broken and making sure they have the tools for mental health, addiction, and disabilities.
I thought it would just be fitting that that type of anointing will come to the Bahamas. They advance the kingdom of God through the arts, and that's important. Spirit, soul, and body.
The children are so excited about it. We have well over 150 children today, and so it's so good for them because it gives them something extra to do during the summer months.
Another feel-good story for you. The Royal Bahamas Police Force donating a number of care packages to the radio and programming department here at Citizenship to assist with its outgoing outreach efforts in the community. Officer in charge of neighborhood and community policing services, Superintendent Davy Pratt, says it's all part of the force's efforts to strengthen partnerships with community stakeholders.
This is awesome to be a part of what she is doing. It's more of this the police force will be doing in the community to assist with persons in need.
Radio announcer on 107.9 FM on the ZNS radio network, Sister Cherise Ferguson, says the care packages will be put to good use.
We hit the community running, right? And of course, we do so in tangible ways. And this is another expression of love. We partner with the Royal Bahamas Police Force. We are so happy for these donations today. Our listeners, they've already called in. And of course, we already have a list. We have a pool that we will select from, and we will determine who will get these packages. There are persons that are waiting. Not only waiting, that are in dire need of all these goodies that are packaged here today. And so we say thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so grateful.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
1973 marked the beginning of something great in these beloved islands, an event that would reflect the values and tastes of the Bahamian people for generations to come. National pride has gone hand in hand with this momentous occasion, which will forever be known throughout Bahamian history as the birth of Aquapure. Sharing its birthday with the nation isn't what makes Aquapure great. It's Aquapure's commitment to quality and to the people of the Bahamas that drives us to be the best. Aquapure, pure Bahamian since 1973.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one and the car say bop, and you can be mad at us. You can be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
Now that the Agrarian Awards have officially been launched, it's your turn to participate. If you're wondering how you can nominate the farmer you feel is most deserving, please visit adobahamas.org. That farmer must be current with the Department of Agriculture's farm registration, must be a Bahamian citizen, must display use of good agricultural practices, must have contributed to the overall development of agriculture in the Bahamas, must have been farming for at least 3 years, and must be able to prove some level of commercial sales with records for the past 2 years. And don't forget to represent your school, church, or community farm by nominating them for a chance to win various prizes. Schools, community farms, and backyard farmers are exempted from certain conditions. Then carefully fill out the short nomination form, ensuring that you select the most appropriate category and that everything is spelled correctly. Then click send, and you're all done. To enter the race for Backyard Farmer of the Year, you must share your photos with moamrfia@gmail.com. That's the ministry's email address. Then follow the ministry on Facebook. Get followers to like and share your photos, and you're done. Please note that you must be a follower of the ministry's Facebook page for your vote to be counted. Nominations and voting end July 31st, so don't waste another minute. And be sure to join us at Margaritaville September 16th at 7 p.m. to find out the winners. For Good to Grow, I'm Georgie Bain.
Relief for Mayaguana residents, BPL indicating in a statement that a replacement 500 kV unit was shipped to Mayaguana on Sunday following the loss of that island's primary generator unit Saturday night. The unit arrived late Monday night and installed and connected to BPL's network early Tuesday morning. BPL has issued an apology to its 180 residential and business customers down in Mayaguana and gives its assurance that the company will do its best to prevent future outages. Furthermore, should they occur, that BPL will be equally as diligent in addressing them and restoring electricity safely and quickly. Well, Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Exuma, the Honourable Chester Cooper, says progress is being made following severe flooding on that island last month due to heavy rainfall. The flooding left residents bailing water from their homes, businesses, and cars. The Deputy Prime Minister says there is still water on the ground, but that a number of government agencies are providing support to residents. There is, however, another area of concern.
One of the things that concern us now is the possibility of the breeding of mosquitoes in the water that's been stagnant for some time. I've spoken with the minister responsible for the environment, and we are looking at providing more support for the local health and environment teams.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that, we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Commissioner. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Temperature at 86 degrees. The relative humidity 70%. We have southeast winds at 9 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.4 millibars. That's 30.05 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Valleys this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We protected you. 87 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool Key, and Marsh Harbor. Boat in Abaco, the Berry Islands at 86 degrees. Alistown, Bimini, 88. 86 in Harper Island and Roxana, Eleuthera, and that extends into Black Point, Exuma, Kemp's Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. Alistown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma also reporting 86 degrees. 86 again in Rygut Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Mayaguana, 87. Acklands, 87. Matutani, Nagua, 86 degrees. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Towel King, and the Paint Center in the Northwestern Islands tonight through tomorrow. Light and variable winds once again. Flat seas at 1 to 3 feet. High tide will occur at 9:35 tonight, with a second high tide at 9:57 tomorrow morning. Now, for the central parts of our country through tomorrow, the winds will remain out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. And in the southeast, Bahamas, a little stronger winds there through Wednesday. East to southeast at 12 to 18 knots and the wave height 3 to 6 feet. So we do have caution flags in place for boaters in the southeast Bahamas through tomorrow. Now, as we head into Thursday, though, in the northwestern parts of our country, the winds become south to southwest, increasing in speeds 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights building 2 to 4 feet. On Thursday, the high tide will take place at 10:53 in the morning with the low tide at 5 in the afternoon. Now, for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday, we also have a change there. Southeast winds at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So we bring that caution flag in place for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
This is the super versatile Ring Stick-Up Cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on. Seriously? Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor Stick-Up Cam by Ring.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rent-A-Kill Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rent-A-Kill Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rent-A-Kill Initial.
Coral reefs are the backbone of the Bahamas. They're the life source of our fisheries, our tourism economy, and our culture. A deadly and relentless flesh-eating disease is killing our corals and threatening our very way of life. It's called stony coral tissue loss disease, or SCTLD for short. In an era marked by climate change and extreme weather, coral reefs are our first line of defense. The Perry Institute for Marine Science is leading the fight against SCTLD in the Bahamas. They have divers in the water all the time, studying the disease and treating corals as fast as they can to slow its spread. Use your voice, spread the word, and share this video. Let's save our corals together.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports. The countdown is on to the Golden Jubilee edition of the Bahamas Games, set to begin on Friday. Today, stakeholders holding a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister to give an update on the historic event. It's been well over 2 decades since the last installment of the Bahamas Games were held, which is why organizers are ensuring that this year's edition will be one of the most memorable ones, if not the most memorable. Stakeholders gathering at the office of the Prime Minister this afternoon to give the public some crucial last-minute information just ahead of the start of competition. An opening ceremony is slated for Friday, and once that is done, let the games begin. Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
The first game is going to start 9 a.m. with volleyball at the Kendall Isaac Gym. Will be a women's game, will be Abaco versus Columbus Isles. That will be followed by a men's game, which will be Abaco versus Andros. So all of the trash talking will be finished, and now it's time for action. Both of those games will be at the female games will be at Kendall Isaac, the men's game will be at Anatole. Baseball will be at the Andre Rogers, and the first baseball game for the 6th edition will be Long Island versus Abaco in a men's competition. In soccer, at the Roscoe Davies Field, you would have Grand Bahama and Exuma and soccer men, and follow that will be New Providence and Abaco in soccer women.
Now, of course, as far as coverage is concerned, a joint effort between the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas as well as REV will ensure that residents throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will be able to view every piece of the action.
The Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas is extremely pleased to partner with the Bahamas Games to provide television coverage of the games from start to finish. And you will be able to tune in and watch the various disciplines, the various meets, as you do every Olympics on NBC. Well, we are the NBC of the Bahamas Games, and we will make sure that you're well covered. We have set, beginning from Friday through to the end of the games, 3 sessions throughout the day that you can tune into our broadcast. We begin with our morning session from 9 a.m., which runs until about 1 o'clock, and during that session, you will, of course, hear from great hosts who will talk about the events, talk about the commentary of the events, the back of the events. We have guests as well as we give you the various live disciplines during the hour, during that period, that you'll be able to watch certain disciplines that are taking place as well.
Rev Media and RTV are honored to be involved with the Bahamas Games on this 50th anniversary of our country. In fact, I would like to thank the Minister personally on behalf of the Cable Bahamas Group of Companies, Rev Media, and through our partnerships with NACAC, Junkanoo, Caricom, and now the Bahamas Games, for seeing the importance in the diversity of media options in the country.
And with competition right around the corner, of course, the trash talking is already underway.
The S. Brand from down in Columbus Isles called me out. I was shocked. And he said what they can do. We come for pirates and pirates only. I say, I thought he's talking to someone else. Couldn't be talking to the Buccaneers. I had gone close to him. I say, Brand, you serious you want to go this route? So now I in the front of the media. So what do you see?
In action resuming in El Salvador, the 2023 CAC Games. The Bahamas in action across several disciplines. Let's take a quick recap over in track and field. Decathletes Ken Mullings and Kendrick Thompson were first up on the track for the Bahamas in the decathlon event. After 3 events, Mullings and Thompson are third and fourth with 2,533 points and 2,516 points respectively. Still on the track, and they are Charlton competing in the women's 100 meters. She would cross the line in fourth place in a time of 11.68 seconds. It would be a bronze medal finish for Sean Miller Jr. in the men's high jump with a leap of 2.2 meters. Kyle Alcine also competing. He would finish in 7th for the jump of 2.12. And after opening their play of the CAC Games with the win, the senior men's water polo team suffering a tough loss to Mexico, falling 27-2. The Bahamas got 1 goal each from Gabriel Sastre and Dominic Demerit. The Bahamas is in Group A and sits in 3rd place in the group. And St. Augustine's College campus is buzzing with activity as the Hoop and Swim Summer Camp is currently in full swing. Participants get to learn the core fundamentals of basketball, volleyball, as well as swimming. The camp instructors tell us more.
We run from ages 8 through 16. What we do is separate the camp in age groups. So we have 2 divisions. We have 11 and under and 12 to 16. What we normally do is we try to incorporate basketball, volleyball, and swimming. So in the morning when it's much cooler, we do basketball and volleyball. And then after lunch, we switch over to swimming for like an hour.
Pretty much basis of the sports, understanding the sports, learning the sports, and if they have a liking to it, progress in the sport, whether it be high school and eventually college and so forth.
Still on summer camps right across the road from the ZNS studios, the Temple Christian basketball camp is underway under the tutelage of Coach Nikino Demerit. Dozens of young hoopers look to sharpen their skills and improve their overall abilities.
Well, I would hope that they learn their skills in basketball and they develop properly. A lot of times we don't work on the development of the kids from the dribbling aspect, but as long as we can get the kids to dribble properly, as you see they're doing now, these dribbling drills, I think that they should go a far way in their sport.
And that's when we look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Hi everyone, when heading to Florida to shop for your essentials, book your transportation with GoGoFlorida.com. The $100 cash deposit is back and accepted at Fort Lauderdale, Miami, or Palm Beach. Now there are lots of options to choose from, but I like the Tesla X, the electric vehicle, because I don't have to worry about gassing up. Or the Jeep Compass seating 5 with lots of space for your luggage or shopping bags. So for the best deals, book now at GoGoFlorida.com. Also available at Bahamas Air Sales Office.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk a catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
The 6th edition of the Bahamas Games are on the way. July 7th through the 15th. Get ready for inter-island sporting competition in the spirit of unity and camaraderie. Which island is gonna win? Our nation, our talent, our games. And look out for the B Games crew coming to your island soon. For more information, call 809-1242 or visit thebahamasgames.org.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now. And I say, boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time is just but when I turn to party, this Junkanoo, I got me with so boy, my island's in the sun. Carnival time
Fly free from Nassau. Visit BahamasResidence.com for details.
This summer on the road to 50, Lighthouse Point at Grand Lucayan is giving away free Sundays when you book 3 nights from a Friday or Saturday. That's right. Enjoy a fabulous Sunday fun day on us at Lighthouse Point with your 3-day stay booked on a Friday or Saturday. For info, call 242-373-1333 or WhatsApp message 242-827-8195. Free Sundays.
Give it to me like.
Our Road to 50 Bahamas promotion by using any service at Lighthouse Point. And you could win 5 free nights. And this summer, when you book 3 nights, starting on a Friday or Saturday, we'll throw in Sunday for free. Yes, enjoy a fabulous Sunday on the beach with your 3-day Friday or Saturday booking at Lighthouse Point. Call 242-373-1333 for reservations today. Lighthouse Point. Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, that low to mid-level trough remains across the northwest Bahamas, and that will continue to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms tonight, but we could see some improvement by tomorrow afternoon. Our forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, very warm, with a couple of thunderstorms developing late as a result of that troughing. Low temperature, just around 81 degrees. And tomorrow, it's going to be, the clouds will be giving away as we head into the afternoon, so we will see some sunshine tomorrow. High temperature around 89 degrees, and the extended weather forecast, those pop-up showers returning on Thursday again, but come Friday, we'll see the skies clearing again, so the weekend is looking pretty nice in terms of sky cover, and that will take us into the early part of next week. But those daytime temperatures, they're going to remain in the low 90s, so as we have been telling you all along, keep yourself hydrated.
Oh, great advice there, Basil. And before we leave, we extend warm birthday wishes to Evenet Gardner. Also, our Randy Knowles is today celebrating his 14th anniversary with his wife, Kalia. Also on this day, ZNS TV began testing of Channel 13 live and in color, airing the first locally produced program, Focus, hosted by Charles Carter and his guest, Kelsey Johnson, General Manager, and Ed Bethel, Assistant General Manager. A bit of history, 46 years ago. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
We gon' bring it back to me. Hey, we about to live it up. So the girls them wine it up. Hey, now roll that for me like a swing play.
Taking all of that.
Yes.